Welcome to the Six Planer. Look, if you're trying to build a massive, highly engaged audience from scratch right now, you are exactly in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the definitive 2026 Instagram growth blueprint. We're skipping all the fluff and looking strictly at what the data and the current algorithm actually dictate for building a following from absolute scratch. Listen, if you're still trying to grow an Instagram page by just posting pretty pictures and desperately stuffing your captions with 30 random hashtags, you've got to stop. It's 2026, and honestly, those outdated tactics are just wasting your time. But here's the really good news. Growing from zero is actually easier now, but only if you play by the new rules. And those rules are all about search engine optimization and hyper-specific micro-niches. So to take your account from a complete ghost town to a thriving community, we're going to follow a really precise four-step blueprint today. We'll cover your foundation and niche, the Reels formula, carousels and stories, and finally, your outbound engagement. All right, let's dive right into step one, foundation and niche. Think of your profile like a physical storefront, right? You wouldn't invite people inside before the shelves are actually organized. The data clearly shows us that a confused algorithm pushes your content to, well, nobody. Why? Because the algorithm is fundamentally just a matchmaking machine. It absolutely needs to know exactly who to pair your content with. If you post about your fitness routine today, your travel plans tomorrow, and then your pet cat on Wednesday, you're literally destroying your reach. The algorithm gets completely confused about who your target audience actually is. And when it gets confused, it just stops pushing your content altogether. So the fix here is to completely shift away from a generic page and really carve out a micro niche. A broad niche like fitness, that's way too saturated and vague. But a micro niche like home workouts for busy moms, now that is a hyper-specific, highly targeted community. When your content is that laser-focused, the algorithm instantly understands exactly who to serve your videos to. Now here's the harsh truth. You have exactly 3 seconds to convince a profile visitor to hit that follow button once they actually land on your page. 3 seconds. That means your bio absolutely cannot be some messy collection of random quotes or emojis. You've got to treat your bio like a highly optimized landing page. To maximize those precious 3 seconds, your bio needs to be punchy, totally fluff-free, and it must answer 3 essential questions. First up, who are you? Second, what specific value do you provide to the viewer? And third, what should they do next? This last one is your clear call to action. You need to tell them exactly what link to click or what action to take next so they can officially enter your ecosystem. Moving right along to step 2, the Reels formula. There's been a massive shift in how the platform operates lately. Hashtags, they're now primarily just for categorization, whereas keywords are your true engine for discovery. Instagram is leaning heavily into SEO now, so you have to be really strategic. You need to seamlessly place your target keywords everywhere. Speak them naturally in your audio, type them out in your on-screen text, and weave them into your captions. That is exactly how people who are actively searching for your niche actually find your videos. When you're actually creating a reel, the data points to a really specific, perfect 3-part formula. First, you've got your hook. In those first 2 seconds, please skip the slow, "Hey guys, welcome back." You need a bold statement or a sharp visual pattern interrupt to stop their scroll immediately. Second, you need a high retention body. Keep the pacing fast. Use visual cuts, transitions, or text pop-ups every 3 to 4 seconds to keep the viewer's eyes constantly moving. And third, always give them a clear reason to share or save the content. Here's something really critical. The algorithm heavily weights shares and saves, while basic likes have been reduced to just a tiny fraction of importance. It absolutely prioritizes content that users find valuable enough to send to their friends or save for later reference. So before you post anything, ask yourself, would someone actually send this to a friend? If the answer is no, it's definitely worth tweaking the content before you hit publish. Okay, let's jump to step 3, carousels and stories. For your static feed, you're going to want to lean hard into the swipe-heavy approach. This means utilizing carousels to create educational or storytelling slide decks. And the magic here? Every single time someone swipes to the next slide, Instagram counts it as fresh engagement. This active swiping frequently gives your posts a vital second life, pushing them right back to the top of the feed for users to see all over again. Next up, please do not ignore your stories. You need to be using story engagement stickers daily, specifically polls, sliders, and Q&As. Why? Because every single time your followers interact with these stickers, it actively trains the algorithm. It sends a strong signal that these users love your content, which then prompts the algorithm to push your actual feed posts straight to the very top of their home feeds. But this naturally brings up a really practical question, right? How on earth do you get engagement from absolute zero? I mean, if you're just starting out, you don't exactly have an audience to swipe your carousels or vote in your polls. To solve this, we have to pivot the narrative from inbound content creation to the proactive hustle of outbound community building. Which brings us to our final catalyst, Step 4, Outbound Engagement Strategy. This entire strategy revolves around a strict 20-minute routine. You can't expect people to engage with you if you aren't engaging with them first, right? But we want efficient execution here. You shouldn't be wasting hours aimlessly scrolling on the app. You need a strict, structured routine. So here is that exact, actionable routine. First, spend 10 minutes engaging right before you post. Second, spend 10 minutes engaging immediately after you post. And third, what exactly are you doing during this time? Well, you're finding 5 creators in your specific micro niche who are just slightly bigger than you, and you are leaving highly valuable, thoughtful, or even funny comments on their posts. Never, ever just write, "Great post, check me out." Write something insightful that makes their followers naturally curious enough to click over to your profile. This ethically steals relevant traffic and sends massive active signals straight to the algorithm. Finally, the absolute fundamental rule: consistency is key. You really need to commit to posting 3 to 4 high-quality reels a week. Look, you can have the perfect micro niche and the best optimized bio in the entire world, but consistently showing up with quality content is the final piece of the puzzle that actually builds real momentum over time. I want to leave you with a final provocative question to chew on. Are you ready to ditch those old 30 hashtags and actually execute your 2026 blueprint? If you're focused and ready to take action, I highly recommend getting a head start. Drop a comment wherever you're viewing this explainer with the word hook, and you'll get a free list of the top 20 reel hooks directly messaged to you to use for your very next posts. Put this highly structured blueprint to work, stay focused, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.